Well, hello everyone. Thank you for watching today. We are going to see just how close we are to being totally taken over by radical communists who have run for office and have operated our nation for years. Not as bad as since 2008, but we have had people that we've elected to office masquerading as conservatives, masquerading as constitutionalists with respect to uphold our Constitution, and even as Christians. That is no longer the case. We've elected people, but we must begin to look at their fruit to know exactly what is taking place. Our justice system totally operates at this time as a communist power. The abuse of power is unlike anything our nation has ever experienced. Our streets are filled with criminals that have no fear of law enforcement because the law enforcement hands are being tied by the Justice Department and by the Homeland Security. We just sit here and we talk about this, and we hear our candidates talking about it, and we've got big plans. I want you to know, unless God's people get involved, unless we realize it's a God problem, America will never change. What we have is a spiritual problem. What do we do in a case like this when your justice system literally is just defunct? That's what it is. It's gone. It operates with its own rules, its own laws. The Congress, all they do is fundraise, so they're not paying attention. What we're buying, we're not getting as a people, and it's a disgrace. The foreigners that are taking over our streets, hardened criminals taking over our streets, the illegals that are taking over our streets are literally taking over our nation while we watch. Today I have an unbelievable program for you, and we must uncover what the media refuses to uncover, what our congressmen and women are getting away with, which is totally unconstitutional, has put our nation in peril. We have discovered with our research from a prayer perspective that the people who refuse to bow to political powers any longer are going to be breaking the law. Those laws are about to be made. We want you right now to understand that the freedom of worship, the living God, is at stake, except in private. The people who came to this nation and discovered this nation left nations of oppression, risked everything. Many of them died looking for a free world where they could worship God and they could preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. I just went to the oldest city in our country, and what I found there was the first Christians that were murdered because of their faith in Jesus Christ as the Son of God, as Protestants. They were murdered because they would not conform to the religion at that time as the religion of the nations that they left. After discovering what I discovered in St. Augustine, the price Christians paid, the pilgrims have paid, for our nation to be free was too much for us to allow another day Christianity to be massacred by radicals trained by Saul Alinsky and who've woven their way to control our nation through the political process. Evangelical women, I'm calling on you to wake up and stand up and help us stop these feminist shrews who blaspheme God and everything they represent to come to the end of their power in this country. They're free to do whatever they choose to do, but we're not going to let them force us to sin anymore if we will vote them out of office this year. I can't wait for our program. Call your friends and tell them Faye is on. We're pulling down strongholds. I'm exposing the plots of the enemy so that through the mighty name of Jesus, they can be destroyed. I am Faye Hardin, and this is Well, I'm so glad you're with us today, and I want to just remind you that if you would like to host an Insight Rally in your area, I am booking my travel now for this year. We've got a lot of wonderful meetings coming up, and I want to come to your city. And we usually have a 3-hour meeting, either Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, or an evening meeting that starts with a cover dish dinner or a dinner meeting, and 2 hours for me to talk. Anything less than that, it's not worth your time or mine because there's so much to cover. We are establishing new prayer teams all across the nation. I have just updated our Intercessors with Insight Prayer Leadership Training book, and we'll be glad to get that to you. So if you say, Faye, I'd love for you to come to our area, please contact me and we'll be back in touch with you, and hopefully we can schedule a morning there or day there, and I would love to talk to you about it. I am literally today covering what is at stake in this election. Frankly, I'm tired of the Republican candidates throwing mud at each other. I'm so disgusted that all they can talk about is each other. And we're praying as intercessors that God will allow the presidential candidate who will appoint Judge Roy Moore, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court in Alabama, to the U.S. Supreme Court. This man has stood for God. He stood against the wiles of the enemy. He's a genius. And he's taken a stand for the 10 Commandments. One, ridiculed. But I believe he will take the separation of church and state and send it back to the pit it crawled out of. So this is how we're praying. Lord, whoever will appoint Judge Roy Moore and who will take a stand for Christians and Christianity in all of the races. Just the presidential race won't mean a thing if all you do is get a good cat, because no one person is going to turn America around. It's going to take God's people to turn America around. And the people who are now serving in the Congress and in the House of Representatives, the majority of them do not represent their constituents. Marco Rubio is hailed as being the future for the Republican Party and Christians. Nothing is further from the truth. Marco Rubio didn't show up for work 20% of the time. He didn't represent any of the constituents that elected him. He didn't read or write the bill that would give amnesty to all of the illegals in our country. But yet he has the look, he has the ability to make people think he's something he's not. We can't go after images anymore. We've got to go after the substance, and the people of God have got to know how to pray, what to pray for, and don't accept the junk that comes from the conservatives, the Republicans, the Democrats, even Christian leaders. They are using the political standards to select who they think should win our elections. Don't. We must have a new crop of people who go to represent the people that elect them. And if you are on a bandwagon that you think any politician is going to be the turning point for America, you've already missed the boat. God's people have allowed the government to feed the poor. We are irrelevant. We've allowed Bible to come out of the schools. We've allowed prayer. We've kept our children in there. If we had brought our children out the minute that the secular, humanistic, Sololinsky radicals who hate God began to use blasphemy to control Christians, and we had come out of their world, they wouldn't have gotten this far. But Christians have just rolled over. We're not going to do it anymore. And it's not a political person that's going to bring that change. We've got almost 1 million people in this country that are homeless, hungry, 6,500 children in school in Central Florida are homeless. And when you are homeless, you do not have an address. So you have no benefits. The foreigners, the people that are here illegally, there's no limit. But the U.S. citizens are being denied. And I'm asking you now to become a part of the answer. And it starts with prayer and understanding the actions that must be taken by the church first. We've got to put the foundation back that our founding fathers, the Pilgrims, the discoverers of America, based this nation on. So if we need you to join this prayer network, we need it today. You can go to the phone right now and call 407-265-0700, press 2. They'll probably be busy. Leave a voicemail. Give your phone number and your name twice, and Janie will call you back. We will get your message. And don't waste another minute. If you are concerned about this nation and you really want to pray for God's divine intervention, I need for you to contact me. You see other programmers, they have everything to entice you to give $20, $30, $40, $50, $100, $500 every time their program airs. They spend a fortune paying people to come up with another product that will encourage you to give to that ministry so they can stay on television. We don't do that. We have our partners. What we're giving you is information. We're giving you a foundation. We're giving you a focus. And you're going to give because God wants you to give to His work, not for what you're going to get. The whole spirit in this nation is, what am I going to get? The colleges right now want socialism because they've been told you've just got to get everything you can get. Communist professors, politicians, offering one bribe after another. All you have to do is vote for me. We've got the ghettos that will go vote for Democrats every year, even though they are living like the scum of the earth because they're convinced that's as good as they're going to get it. Where's God's people saying there's nothing you can't do? if you will put God in your life. Where's the Bibles that should be distributed in all of our inner cities, to our schools, our children? Banned. The wealth of this nation is banned. We are rich as a nation. We have gold, we have silver, we have rare minerals, we have oil, we have coal, we have gas, we've got uranium. Where is all of this wealth? Banned by politicians. There's not a Native American in the world that should be broke, poor, and without electricity, living 100 years ago with highways all around them, with gold on their land. Gold, uranium. I've been to their uranium resources, banned by politicians. You can't get to it. We have banned it. The biggest lie this nation's ever heard is that we're broke. This nation is wealthy, but our wealth has been banned so that we can have atheists, communists, control a piece of paper that is worthless, called the dollar bill. The federal agencies operate to do everything they can to keep us as broke as we can be, to keep us without jobs, to put us in streets, put us in forests, while they feed our enemies with the money, the little bit of money that those who do have a job but not enough pay to make it through the month, and they want more. My friends, it's a wake-up call. If we do not use the election of this year to vote out, I would say take them all out. You can say, oh, Faye, there may be some good ones. Well, they don't have a breath. It's time right now. America's salvation is coming right now. We need primary challengers who will take America's best interest at heart. They shouldn't be allowed to raise a dime of money outside of their own the own area that they represent, their own district. They shouldn't be allowed to raise a dime out of the state as a senator that they represent. They should be forced to go to the people that they are supposed to represent, to be elected and funded by those people. We're never going to see change until we change. We're never going to see anything in this nation happen until we put God back at the foundation. I just went to St. Augustine, Florida, the oldest city in America, and I was looking for answers for the first Christians that were murdered that came here. Murdered. They told me that there was a river of blood flowing through St. Augustine that flowed for 3 days. The blood of the Protestants, called the Huguenots. There was one research fact sheet that I've gotten that I'm going to be dealing with in my Face Facts. You must get the Face Facts. St. Augustine, Florida, the city of blood. We've had people to pay the price for our freedom, but since 1947, because of wicked Supreme Court judges that hated God and hated Christians and hated Jews, twisted our Constitution to suit themselves. We must change that before anything else in America is going to change. I'll be right back. Hi, I'm Faye Harding. Just want to take a moment to let you know that our Face Facts, given the information, specifics about what's going on in this nation, are in demand. I want you today to say, Faye, I want to know the truth. I will never tell you anything that I cannot confirm, but this election is vital, and it's vital that the people of God get involved. It's vital right now because it's right now that we're making the decisions whether we will save America or not. I need your help. Our ministry must have support, more than we've ever had it before. I've had some wonderful partners that's gone to be with the Lord. They must be replaced for us to continue to do everything that we're doing right now to wake up America and to bring America's deliverance. Will you write that check today? Will you call, go on my website, and make that donation? I just want to take a moment and give you a few facts that are in the May 5th Faye's Facts. So if you want to get all of the information, you need to sign up for the newsletter. You do have to cover the cost of the newsletter. And we do that by bringing in partners, $20, $30, $40, $50 a month. If I had 100 new partners for $50 a month, that would give us a major boost with our television time going forward. So if you are not right now one of our partners, please today call, sign up, go on our website, and say, Faye, I want to be a partner. If all you can do is $20 a month, that would more than cover your receiving the Faye's Facts every week. It's a weekly publication sent out first-class mail. So I just want you to see where we are today with where we're headed. We've got people running for president right now that most of them, all they do is talk about each other. Terrible. It is so pathetic that we would allow candidates to take on a life of criticizing each other when we've got Hillary Clinton and a socialist that's getting millions of people's votes in this country, and many of them profess to be Christians. So where is that born-again Christian? Loretta Lynch has said that she is getting ready to enforce laws that are not laws. It's her laws for anyone that is negative concerning Islam. We cannot discuss Islam. Hillary Clinton says, and this is with rescuechristians.org, rescuechristians.org, Hillary Clinton says Christians in America must deny their faith. And this is a report by Walid Shabbat. Another one, same, rescuechristians.org. Hillary Clinton now wants to enforce churches in America to accept homosexuality and conduct gay weddings. And if we don't ante up, we will not be able to be a nonprofit organization. All nonprofit organizations are going to lose tax-exempt status that do not comply with Hillary Clinton, the feminist movement, the communist movement, and upcoming, we must bow. Are you ready for this? Hi, I'm Faye Harding. Just take a moment to let you know that I do not believe that God is going to do anything else for this country until we begin to bring back the foundation of our nation from a Christian perspective. And I believe that we're going to have to do things God's way. We cannot glorify politicians anymore. We cannot glorify poverty anymore. For anyone who will pray with me 120 days, I want to send you as my gift to you my book, 120-Day Prayer Calendar, Doing It God's Way. You just need to pay the postage, $5.75. I want to put it in your hands. Also, our much sought after weekly prayer bulletin is in demand. If you want to know what's happening, how things are going week to week, please say, Faye, I'm going to partner with you today. Make that donation, and God bless you. Our program goes so fast, but I just want you to know that we must take a stand against Hillary Clinton and using the political process to control Christians and force us to sin. We can't do it anymore. But as long as evangelical women stay silent, as long as the seniors don't know that this crowd has already eliminated Social Security for our future, nothing's going to change. But God's people have to come forth. We must take authority over the powers of darkness. Hillary Clinton was written about by Andrew Walker, October 5th, 2015, and he said she would deny tax-exempt status to those who dissent from the left's views. On Saturday morning, Hillary Clinton addressed the nation's most influential gay rights lobby, the Human Rights Campaign. It was a calculated appearance, fearing potential candidate Vice President Joe Biden's Saturday evening speech to the same group might outpace her own record on gay rights. How much more are we going to take, people? How much more are we going to sit back and watch the radicals abuse of power, twisted our Constitution to bring us to the communist state that we're headed fast toward? I want evangelical women to call me. I want leaders of prayer teams. Call me. Write me. Go to my website and say, Faye, we want to know the truth. Let me get you the facts, because I do all the work to do that with. I believe focused, united, anointed prayer teams can turn America around, but we have to vote. We have to participate. We must take back the Supreme Court, and we must reverse the separation of church and state before it's too late. Right now, go to my website, InsightUSA.us. Make a donation, as little or as much. If 50 people right now would make a donation today for $50 a month, or a one-time gift of $50, that would help us so much with our television time. Our partners fund this ministry. We must stand for America. We must stand for God, and we must renounce the feminist power over the women in this country, our children, our grandchildren, our schools, our curriculum. When are the evangelical women going to rise? When are the seniors going to know that when you vote Democrat or when you vote for a Republican, that's Republicans that vote with the Democrats, you are signing your own suicide note financially. I need for you to understand the truth. Don't get on any side. Stay on God's side, and let's turn this nation around.
Faye wants to hear from you. Her desire to see America come out of exile is raising up one of the most powerful, informed, anointed, and united prayer networks in America for America. She is organizing Christians for the U.S. Constitution to give uncompromising believers back their voice and witness. If this program has blessed you and you believe in what Faye is doing, contact her, pray with and for her, partner with her. She would love for you to host an Insight rally in your church or city. Organize an Intercessors with Insight prayer team or join one. For a complimentary pocket-sized Constitution or Faye's facts, call or email Faye 407-265-0700 or faye.usainsight@gmail.com. Write Insight USA, P.O. Box 917689, Longwood, Florida 32791.